technology? Were they working with other beings to do this? We have to ask these kind of questions, because why would they do it?
It seems as if it was the result of some kind of contact with entities, perhaps even extraterrestrial.
One of the most remarkable things I've ever seen is a giant monument in the countryside of Japan. It is one of the largest and oldest monoliths anywhere on Earth. And what's even more intriguing is that ancient lore claims that this massive stone was carved to resemble a ship that flew through the sky. Number 9 on our countdown, the Ishino-Hoden Monument. Takasago, Japan. This small city, just west of Osaka, is home to one of the most extraordinary wonders of the ancient world. A colossal monolith called Ishino-Hoden, or the Floating Stone. Standing 18 feet tall, 21 feet wide, and almost 24 feet thick, the Ishino-Hoden is estimated to weigh 500 tons, making it one of the largest monoliths on Earth. In 2017, Giorgio Tsoukalos traveled to the Yoshiko Shrine to investigate the colossal monolith. He is joined by fellow ancient astronaut theorist Takaharu Mikami. Wow, it's gigantic. I don't know, I need to walk around. I have no idea how massive this is. Archaeologists have been unable to date its construction, but according to Japanese mythology, the Ishino-Hoden could be more than 16,000 years old. The massive monument is made of volcanic tuff and was carved in place out of the surrounding bedrock. Its name, Floating Stone, comes from a unique feature that can be seen under the huge rock. Stone.
So you want to just look down below here. It looks like it's floating over the water.
It really does. But what interests Giorgio the most is what the monolith is said to represent.
そうです。まさにこの岩を作った神様の人。
So this monolith is said to be related to one of the first gods that descended from the heavens to Japan, and he is said to have traveled over the country on a skyship made out of a giant rock.
So what you're telling me is that there is an ancient Japanese legend that speaks of a deity flying around in the sky with a gigantic vehicle made of stone?
Absolutely.
The fact that they used this water mirror underneath the stone to show as if it is hovering and floating in the air, to me, is one of the smoking guns by our ancestors to show that these things were actually in the sky. Our next mysterious monoliths are an instantly recognizable symbol of ancient Egypt. They are the most perfectly carved stones in existence, and some of the largest as well. But what most people don't know is that these towering pillars were seen as points of contact with the gods. At number 8 on our list, obelisks. Egypt. Thousands of years ago, the people here produced some of the most enduring monuments on Earth, including massive pyramids, elaborate temples, and some of the largest monoliths ever created, called obelisks.
The Egyptian obelisk is one of the most unique pieces of architecture in ancient Egypt. Every obelisk you look at, it is geometrically perfect.
They were always made of granite, and they were four-sided and towered upwards and eventually ended in this perfect pyramid.
Most obelisks between 70 and 100 feet tall, and they can weigh over 100 tons. But what compelled the Egyptians to carve such perfect monoliths in the first place? Perhaps the answer can be found by taking a closer look at the unique properties of this stone.
Obelisks are a piece of crystalline granite, and within the granite is quartz crystal. So obelisks themselves are, in a sense, a crystal tower. It's an antenna, and any antenna can receive a broadcast, and it can give a broadcast.
Could it be that 4,000-year-old obelisks were antennas? Ancient astronaut theorists suggest the writings of the ancient Egyptians themselves support this idea. According to hieroglyphic records known as the Edfu texts, a 130-foot tall obelisk once stood at Abu Ghora in Memphis, where the people could commune with the gods. Abu Ghora was known as the place of the gods. And what's so interesting is that most mainstream Egyptologists are actually saying that we know it as a place where the ancients connected with divine energies. The ancient astronaut theory suggesting that ancient Egyptians were in direct contact with those extraterrestrials. I find it fascinating that many of the monoliths we've investigated on ancient aliens are covered in symbols or writing that point to another worldly connection. One of the most compelling examples of this can be found in an ancient Mayan city in Honduras. At number 7 on our list of the top 10 mysterious monoliths, the Stele of Copan. Copan, Honduras. This ancient site, located deep in the jungle, served as one of the most important city centers of the Maya civilization. At the peak of its power in the 9th century AD, the Kingdom of Copan had a population of at least 20,000 people and covered an area of over 100 square miles.
Copan is a classic Maya city that sits at the far eastern edge of the Maya world. Most of the Maya world is built out of limestone, and a lot of those limestone monuments have now melted. But Copan's sculpture, because it's in volcanic tuft, is beautiful. It's deep relief and still very visible.
Among the most remarkable carvings discovered at Copan are the more than 80 monolithic statues known as stelae.
The most fantastic part of Copan is the carved monuments, which are carved in the round. They're not what we call plano-convex, like a slab with a low relief carving. These are carved in a sort of Michelangelo way in the round, and they're absolutely fantastic.
Copan is full of big stela that stand 10, 12 feet above the surface of the plaza. They are single monolithic stones carved with all sorts of hieroglyphs and images of rulers.
The most well-known of Copan's stelae were built during the 43-year reign of the ruler Washaqlahun Ubakawiel, better known by the nickname 18 Rabbit.
On one of the stelae of Copan, 18 Rabbit portrayed himself as the foremost patron god of Copan, the all-encompassing god Chanteahau. And on the stele, he basically gives a dissertation on the cosmos.
For all intents and purposes, 18 Rabbit is depicted like modern-day astronauts. You see tubes, you see weird boxes, you see weird canisters and tanks, you see boots. It looks more technological in origin. Does the monolithic statue of 18 Rabbit commemorate the Maya's interactions with extraterrestrials? As far as ancient astronaut theorists are concerned, the answer is a resounding yes.
The Maya, in their own words, tell us